What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy the Judgmental Podcast. I'm Leroy, and as you see from the title, Jay and I reviewed Soundbombing Volume 1 from Rawkus Records. The album isn't on Spotify anymore. Now, Jay suggested this a couple of months back. Well, his friend suggested it to him, and he told me. I checked it, and Soundbombing 1 was on there, so most recently they must have took it down. And we said we were going to do Soundbombing Volume 2 also, and that also isn't there. So we'll have to do some kind of special way for that one. But the good news is today, like I said, we reviewed it, we recorded it, spent 2 hours recording it, and I'm just going to play the end of the podcast where we're breaking song by song down and giving our review of it. So it's about a good 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. A good 20 minutes of it. I'll play that part. So sorry about that. And again, everyone, if you have any albums you want us to review, let us know. It doesn't have to be rap. It doesn't have to be old school rap. It don't have to be underground rap. It could be R&B. It could be country. Anything. Just give us something to review. You'll hear our social media at the end of the show. So sorry about that, everyone. So I hope you enjoy this outro part. Have a good day. Alright, that was Reflection Eternal, 2000 Seasons, produced by DJ High Tech. That was Talib's rendition of doing that, how many bars I can fit in a song. 2000 Seasons, is it 2000 bars? I don't, but the song wasn't bad, but it was a B-side single, so.
You know, actually, this was a song that made me interested in his solo material.
Really? This song and not Fortified Live?
Fortified Live had features. This was him by himself.
Uh-huh.
That's why. And like this one was this song. This is Black Bookstore Talib Kweli. This is because Mos Def and Kweli, I think they were helping to run a black bookstore in Brooklyn, I think, around that time. And you could tell Kweli was reading John Henrik Clark, Toni Morrison, Ivan Van Sertima books while listening to Straight East jazz records or something.
Right.
You know, but like what I liked about this one was like, especially the second verse. The second verse of the song is my favorite because it lets you know like he was also an artist, not like Mos Def, not so much of like, hey, I can make something easier on the ears to listen to, but it lets you know like what Kweli was like into.
Right.
Like once you heard that song, you knew what his album might sound like. And I wanted to see where he would go with that just based off of that second, because he had some quotables. I mean, yeah, he was cramming bars and stuff.
Yeah.
But you go back and you really listen to what he's saying in certain parts, he really has some like really good lines in there. Like really, really good lines. Not some metaphor punchline stuff, but just some generally good lines.
Right.
Like the thing about like getting out the car and looking at the stars and stuff like that.
Yeah. That was towards the end. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That second verse. The first verse was all right, but that second verse was the one that won me over whenever I listened to this dude like for the first time.
Now, what did you think of the Reflection Eternal album?
You're talking about the first one, right?
Yes.
So you don't like Kweli. That's why you asking.
No, that's why I asked you.
Asking me these questions.
That's why I asked you. I only like Black Star.
Okay. Yeah, I like the first one.
No.
I like the first one. Like honestly, with Kweli, the first one was pretty good to me. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the second one though was when he started teetering off. He wanted to. And I can't knock a rapper who's trying to get more of a conventional sound and stuff, but that's when he was trying to be more, I guess, mainstream. That's when Get By came out.
Right.
But yeah, the first one I really liked it. I liked what he was doing. It it fit my expectations as to what I thought a Talib Kweli album would sound like.
All right. So, what you think about the Sound Bombing Volume One as a whole?
It's a good snapshot, time capsule of like underground, anti-jiggy hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Very good showcase of it, and I'm talking about what it means. And this album was both Sound Bombings was requested by a friend of mine who's a DJ from. I talked about this dude multiple times on this show, and he really wanted to. He really wanted to see what we would say about it and our thoughts on it. And yeah, it's a mixture of a lot of stuff.
Yes.
On one side, you have these rappers who are trying to take lyricism to writing their lyrics to a whole different level, right? I mean, yeah, they clunk a lot of their bars together, but they're trying to do something that hasn't been done before.
Right.
Now, whether they failed or whether they passed, that's up on you. But if you really listen, they were really trying to do some groundbreaking stuff. And on the second side, you see more of the artistry as to what Rawkus has to offer. You got these guys coming in, they have that underground element, but they know how to twist it into a song structure to where like even guys who are at the club all the time, they might like some of these.
Right.
You know what I mean? For a newcomer, it'd be hard to get through.
Yes.
Especially the first part. The first part would be really hard to get through because the references are outdated. The songs aren't conventional. Like there's nothing catchy about it. The rhymes they're really hard to decipher. There's a lot of mystique to the rhymes they're saying. The second half they could get into it more, but I think it would be really dated for them.
Yeah.
It'd be very dated. And I still think they would at least like Mos Def off of here. They probably would like R-Rated Rugged Man too.
Yeah.
But outside of those two, like I don't see someone who's listening to this right now in 2022 for the first time. I think they'd have a lot of difficulty getting into it. Like this is a record that you would really have to understand what was going on at that time period.
Agreed.
And it's like one of those things where you'd have to either understand or you would have to be there.
Yeah.
It's one or the other or both.
Well, I can pretty much just copy what you said. It's definitely a time capsule, and it's got a mixture of what you just said. It is a mixture of underground rap. It's a mixture of underground rap, like lyric underground rap, and it's a mixture of that underground radio rap with the Mos Def stuff, and it's a mixture of mixtape rap with the My Crown, and even the Are You the Rugged Man is like mixtape rap back in the day. It's definitely a time capsule, and some albums can last the time, could stand up against the test of time. This definitely doesn't, and that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just don't stand the test of time. See, and it's kind of hard because we were there. Yeah. So we were there, so we know what's up. The same thing how we talked about that Loon T&S song. Yeah. Okay, exactly. You already know what he's talking about, but like no one else that wasn't there don't know what what the hell he say? First of all, he's rhyming 100 miles an hour, and he's calling off these names and all that stuff that nobody don't know what the hell he was talking about. But we know because we were there. We know what he was talking about. But like you said, I suggest this to a person? I would say I will only give them the 4-5 Live. To My Heart Stop. That's Ari Bergman and Aguilar, everyone. Both of the Mos Def songs. If You Can Hunt, Universal Magnetic. We can go with My Crown because My Crown wasn't that bad. I would just give them those songs. But other than that, I don't know. But would I listen to this? See, I would listen to it because I was there. I already know what's going on.
It's nostalgia. To me, it's nostalgia. It's like, oh man, I remember that shit. Oh shit, That's how it is for me, yeah.
And I didn't want to talk about the second Sound Bombing, but the second Sound Bombing album is totally different, and we'll get into that when we review it. But the the Ruckus was way more polished. They already knew what to do. See, these are just like a compilation of singles.
Mm-hmm.
And when the second volume came around, they really knew what to do. And well, we'll get into that. I don't want to get in too much into the second
Well, again, this is
volume.
a mixtape. This is Evil D saying his name 1,000 times. He's like cutting and scratching in between singles and stuff.
Right.
And they're just showing you like, hey, this is Rawkus Records. This is who we have on here. We're representing like really underground rap. Again, anti-Jiggy, anti-Puffy, shiny suit stuff.
Right.
Not street, not necessarily like, DMX street stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But these are guys in New York who are like trying to take rap to the next level, basically.
Right.
That's basically what it was. And it was an interesting, you had to have been there or like just know about it, because there was a lot of interesting stuff coming out at that time. Right. Again, I mean, like I said, the first half, the guys sound like Kool Keith Jr. somewhat, but and it's no diss or anything, but like, again, Kool Keith grandfathered that style basically. But like, besides them, it was even more people doing different kinds of things with their flow patterns and what they were doing with their bars and stuff. Right. That pretty much came out of this camp, because all of these guys were connected. Yes. It wasn't during that time where, now everybody, you got SoundCloud, you got like everybody's a rapper, anybody can rap now.
Right.
Back then, everybody couldn't rap.
And plus, you had to save money and all that stuff to go into a studio. So yeah. Now you can just have a studio on your computer. Go ahead.
And it took time to like make beats, and it took time. Like, these guys were around people who were like, they'd be like, nah, whatever you wrote is whack. That shit is terrible. Like, go back and do it again.
Right.
Nowadays you can just put whatever you want and there's no real criticism. I mean, yeah, it's online, but before you put it out, you don't have to have a gatekeeper be like, nah, I can't believe you wrote that line, man. What are you on right now?
Right. Especially in terms of like pressing albums and pressing CDs. You don't have to do that no more. All you got to do is just click on the upload and your song is out there. Right.
Yeah. So these were really interesting times, and like, for me, there was so much anticipation to see like, what a full length release would sound like from some of these guys. Because right. I mean, for a lot of this stuff, I mean, if you go back to that time, a lot of these things that you're listening to now, you've never heard them before. They were totally different from what was out. So this was like brand new, fresh, a movement of a new subculture coming up.
Right, because it was hardcore. Okay, it was hardcore Wu-Tang rap. It was gangster rap was out there on the East Coast and the West Coast. And it was that can we say getting jiggy with it rap?
And you know what? This is also when Biggie and Tupac died. This is right when that happened.
Right.
So like, there was like a big void, man, of people either, well, really with Tupac, a lot of them were really, really hardcore imitating Tupac more.
Right.
But yeah, it was a big void, man. It seemed like in New York, they were trying to scramble over who would be on top since Biggie died. And then on the West Coast, it seemed like everybody wanted to be Tupac.
Right.
So you got these guys underground who are like, nah, screw all that. We're going to do us, and we're just going to do something just totally different.
Right. Now, can we talk about Rawkus failures, or should we just wait till the second volume?
Let's wait till the second one.
Yeah, because they could be still going today if they would have. Well, I'll get into it on the next one. Because see, I didn't want to talk about the second one. We'll just stick to the first one, and that's it. We'll review the second one down the line. The second one, I burned. I tell you that I didn't want to talk about the second second volume, but we'll get into that. All right. Anything else you want to add, or?
Well, not on this. I mean, do you want to add anything else on this?
No, because you pretty much just said it. Because I totally agree that it was pretty much just a time capsule. a time
Right.
capsule of many different styles.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, speaking on underground and underground new releases to take things up to now. I gotta rescind my comment on the Rock Marciano because offline I said I was disappointed with the release.
Right.
I was like, I don't like it. I had to listen to it through my headphones to
Mm-hmm.
like catch more of it. And you know, I mean, eventually we're gonna have to do a Rock Marciano podcast where we give that man his flowers, dude. Like he's been one of my favorite rappers since I remember hearing him from the Flip
Buster.
Mode Squad
Yeah.
and the UN.
Mm-hmm.
But like since Marsburg came out, he's been one of my like favorite. Like I had to get Marsburg and Reloaded on vinyl. Like I had to.
All right.
He's been one of my favorite rappers since. So I don't know when, but one day we got to do like a full podcast where we give that dude his flowers because
Like the MF Doom tribute.
I get MF Doom was dead though, but
Yeah, yeah, but you know what I
some
mean. Like,
you
yeah,
gotta do
like how we
something.
go through
There's
his whole
like
discography, or
I don't know. Like
oh,
it's
that's
that's gonna
that's
be
gonna be
later
like
down the
4
line.
hours.
Yeah, that's later on down the line. But like that dude, man. Yeah, it was a good release. I gotta rescind my comments on that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have it. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
hmm But
And
that's go ahead.
and yeah, I was wondering when you were saying it. I was wondering like, was Alchemist bad or was Rock Marciano bad? Which one was it?
I think for me it was like with Rock Marciano now, you know what to expect, kind of.
Yeah.
Like the subject matter, the to me, I didn't like the off kilter flow at first. And I
Mm-hmm.
think with Alchemist, I could take them in small doses, but like once I put my headphones on, it was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing now. Like I can hear the little small nuances and stuff a little bit more, and I
Mm-hmm.
catch some of his lines more. You know.
Okay. All right. Well, real quick, do you have any of your top 5 albums of the year yet?
No, I think this year has been disappointing, man.
I
You know what?
have
It's like I kind of wanted to ask you because we never did. I know you don't like Kendrick Lamar.
no, no, I didn't listen to that.
Yeah.
No.
the at least the top no, not the top, but the ones I wanted to pay attention to, they all were like kind of like even with the Rock Marciano, I like it, but it's not. I hold his two first solo albums in too much of a higher regard to, like, you know what I mean. Everything else is going to disappoint me somewhat.
Yeah.
So like yeah, every release, at least rap wise, every release was kind of to me.
See, it's like I was saying before. I think it's like a age thing. Because you heard it all.
Yeah.
So it's like because to me, most of these rap albums is like one time listens,
hmm
and not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just that okay. First of all, it's I've heard it all. That's number one, and number two is too much shit coming out. It's too much shit coming out pretty much all at one time. So you have to listen to this album. Then next week you have to listen to this album. You don't have time to go back and listen to the first album that you was listening to. That sort of thing.
But for me, there hadn't been too many releases that I've been interested in anyway, though.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm not a Kendrick fan, but I'll at least like listen to what he has to say on it. Like, I at least give a. I'm not. I'll at least like listen to it once, because it's still part of me to where it's like, why do people love this guy so much? So it's like I want to see what he does so I can catch what people like about him.
Hmm. And
Uh,
what was your thoughts?
on that album,
Yes.
that's what I always say about the guy. He knows how to make a good, solid project, but to me, nothing sticks.
Hmm.
I get what he's doing. Like the intention behind the album, this one is really good. Like I like what he did, artist wise. I like what he did, but his music just isn't for me. That's what I always come to every time I listen to this guy. His music, he's a great artist. He's one of the. I understand why he's one of the best artists out,
Right.
but yeah, it just doesn't. It doesn't stick with me.
Agreed. I say the same thing. It's not. It's just not me. Like I said to you before. I like Drake, but I wouldn't listen to a Drake album because it's just not it's not catered to me. It's catered
Yeah,
to someone else, not just me.
yeah. What else? I guess and since we did underground rap, we may as well talk about some of the underground releases. You know, we had the Black Star album come out.
Yeah,
Black
I
Thought recently came out.
I didn't listen to the Black Thor and Danger Mouse. You talking about?
Yeah, the one he did with Danger Mouse.
What you think?
Uh, I don't really like the beats that much.
Mm.
The first few songs, they don't sound like they were mixed that well. And I mean, Black Thought is a machine. The dude is a machine, basically. He's a rhyming machine.
Right.
But it's like there's still something missing about him.
Yeah, you say that personality wise.
I don't know. It's like I have no idea. He's too technically gifted. Not the way
Mm-hmm.
that Eminem is, because Eminem does this like he does all this like crazy he does these crazy patterns and stuff.
Right.
It's the references that Black Thought like puts into his music, and I get it, and it's crazy how he does it. But at the same time, it's like there's still something more that he's missing for me. Maybe it is personality. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think about the Black? Because again, we're doing Rawkus, so Black Star. You know, what did you think about that one?
Yeah, I like the album. Didn't I tell you what the songs that I liked? Boy, that how long was that ago?
That was in May, I think, when it came out. It was like
Yeah.
4 months ago.
I wrote down the songs. I think I texted you the songs that I liked. Let me check real quick.
I mean, I could scroll
I
through.
got it. OG, So
Hmm.
Be It, Sweetheart, Sweetard, Sweetheart, Sweetard, and Sweet Tide.
Hmm.
Sweetheart, Sweet Tide. So it's what one, two, three songs I liked on it. Now, and how many songs were there on there?
It was like 9 or 10, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's the songs that I liked.
Hmm. The record, yeah. I see it. The record that I liked. Well, honestly, I can't. I don't think I could pick any songs from it.
Why?
Like, cause to me, it kind of sounded like a long song with different sections, kind of like a suite or something.
Mm-hmm.
It had that. Well, I guess Madlib is responsible for that. It had that grain, especially their microphones too. The way it was mixed, it has that grainy feel all the way through.
Yes, it does.
So it feels like a long song. Like none of the songs sound that much different from each other.
Right.
And but I like their rapping on it. But it's like they didn't have much of a song structure to it like their first album.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was good, but it didn't stay with me that long. And I think it's just because like there's no real strong stuff. They were rapping their asses off though. Like they were really going in though.
Yeah.
Even Kweli, like I mean, I've been off of Kweli for a minute now, but to me, I was like, yeah, he's really rapping on this one. I mean, both of them were, you know. So I mean, I like the rapping and stuff on it, but just as a complete project, it's good, but it's not great.
Right. Now, did you listen to your boy JID yet?
Nah, I just got it yesterday. I didn't have a chance to listen to it.
Okay.
I have a feeling that's not gonna stay with me neither, because it's just like what you said. Like we've heard everything. I mean, like we were just talking about Rawkus. Like them dudes was trying to take stuff to a different level. You've heard just this is like after this is like the East Coast version of what they were doing at the Good Life with Freestyle Fellowship and all them.
Right.
Basically, trying to take rap into a different level and doing stuff nobody's heard before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we got this era, and it's like, yeah, these guys are rapping, but like I've heard these patterns before. I've heard the subject matter before. I see what you're trying to do here. I see this well, if you are making a concept. So I mean, like, it's not too many rap records that stay. Oh, Mock Hami just released something with what's his name? The God Fahim.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I heard that one. That one was pretty good.
It's an EP.
I guess so. I think all of the stuff that they're what I forgot what the series is called, but you know that particular series that they do is they're all EPs, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Did you want to say something? Because look, it sounded like you was about to say something.
Nah, I was just gonna say yeah, that's about it. That's all I could think of these days. Cause dollar menu, that's what it's called. Dollar menus, dollar menu 4.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it. I can't think of nothing else.
Well, all right, y'all. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at pnljudgementals, Instagram at the_judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you, Jay, for doing this review. Because even though we're recording, this is like damn 3 hours long. So,
I was gonna say this is a long one, but I'm really looking. I was gonna say I'm looking forward to doing the Soundbombing 2 one though, so we could like talk about the differences between this one.
Right. You know? How about we do that at the end of September?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because this is the first volume and second volume is 2 different things, and not to say that. Well, I don't want to talk about the second one. All right, y'all. Thanks.
All right.